Fellas, we're back. Chad, welcome to the league. Post-draft power rankings coming at you real quick. I'll also be doing my week one preview. Unsure if I'll split these videos up depending on how fast I get through this. Chad, to give you a breakdown, I kind of let you know about this. Every week, I'll do a recap of what happened last week. I'll make some predictions. I'll let you know how I'm doing on predictions. And we'll get a winner and loser of the week video. I did brief you on that, but just to reiterate, we do that. So be on the lookout for that. These are my power rankings. These are not ESPN's power rankings. These are not Fantasy Pros power rankings. This is what I think about each of the teams. And spoiler alert, I've won twice in a row. I'm going to be number one at the end. So just going to give you guys a heads up on that right now. If you want to skip like the last 2 or 3 minutes of the video where I talk about my own team, I won't be offended, but want to get that out of the way. So let's dive in. I did figure out how to do like split screen, so there will be some cuts so everyone can see the team that I'm talking about while I'm talking about it. Let's dive in. Coming in at last, unfortunately, is our newcomer Chad. And I hate to do it to him because he is new to the league, but passing on CMC for Derrick Henry I thought was pretty questionable. I'm not saying I don't like Derrick Henry, but letting CMC fall to Char at 10 was pretty astounding. I hate Marvin Harrison Jr. I think he sucks. Tyler Warren I thought was a great pick. I'll give you that one. Pacheco, we'll see. Jameson Williams, we'll see. He started doing well at the end of the year. I am a believer, so I like that one for you too. Terry, we'll see how he does too. But just, I think the bench is exceptionally weak, and we run a 2-flex league, which I know you see that because your roster is right here. Darnell Mooney I like, and then after that it kind of falls off a cliff. I have no idea who Alec Ayomanor is, and maybe I just don't know ball. I feel like I'm pretty plugged into who's who for all the rookies. I don't know who that guy is. I like the Ollie Gordon pick. Quinshon Judkins, even though he hasn't signed yet, should, in theory, be good. Two Nonham, obviously. I went to Virginia Tech. I like that pick a lot. Cam Scatabo, we'll see, right? The Cardinals play I do like against the Saints. That's a very strategic play, just streaming whoever's playing the Saints. I think if we weren't a full PPR league with 2 flexes, this team would have a very different vibe to it. It wouldn't be 10 on my power rankings, but we are unfortunately a PPR double flex league, and you went running back heavy for running backs that don't catch the ball a lot. So for those reasons, Chad, unfortunately, I hate to slot you in at 10, but I have slotted you in at 10. I hope you prove me wrong. Before I get to the 9th power ranking, a little shark mug action. Thank you to Lexi. Let's dive into the 9th place. 9th on the power ranking. This one pains me a little bit to do because it's someone I think does know ball and someone who this is the lowest I've ever slotted him. But unfortunately, I do have Sean at 9th on my power rankings, and that does pain me a lot to say. We'll dive into it. Neighbors I like a lot. I am not high on the Dolphins offense at all. I think Tua is not good and is always hurt. I think Tyreek is a head case. I think Akane's always hurt. Kyron I'm not super high on either. I think he's pretty touchdown dependent. I don't know if he's actually good. He just scores a lot of touchdowns. I know that may sound stupid, but those who know ball, know ball. Tucker Kraft, I think, was a good pick. Devontae, again, we got 2 guys on the same offense. So we're going all in on the Rams, going all in on the Dolphins. We got Jordan Love, obviously he's going to get him, and Kraft. So he's got 6 guys across 3 teams, and then Breece Hall rounding it out. And I'm not high on Breece Hall this year. So his team could be good. I'm not going to say it's not going to be good. The only guy I would have drafted on this team was Malik Neighbors. His bench, obviously a little deeper than Chad's. We got Travis Hunter. Maybe he'll be a good gadget player. He does get Jaden Reed. Tank Bigsby, maybe he's the running back that breaks out in Jacksonville this year. It's got to be someone. Maybe this is Fields' year. And got Romeo Dubes and Dylan Sampson. So we'll see. I think Sean will make some moves. I think he'll make some trades. I don't think he will end up 9th, but from a post-draft ranking, I think it leaves some room to be desired, unfortunately. And it does pain me to say that. Number 8, this is going to get his blood pumping here, is Omar. And it just brings me joy to just say those words out loud. So we'll look at his team as we do for everyone, but this man just forgot about quarterbacks and running backs. Like, everyone had their backup before he drafted his starter. He thought he was going to get Dak. Sky obviously grabbed him. James Conner, fine, sure. That's a good 5th-round pick. I like that one. Tony Pollard would be good for the 4 weeks that Spears is injured. Obviously, he's got Jamar, who's great. He did bamboozle Noto. He told Noto he was going to take Bijan. Noto had his other draft, did whatever it was going to do, and then was like, yo, I changed my mind. So I apologize to Noto on Omar's behalf for that. Drake London should have a good year. Laporta, I think, is probably not going to have a great year again. Ladd, we'll see. Greg Roman, he's horrible. Maybe he has a little bit of a regression. Cortland Sutton, I think, was a good pick, too. His bench is actually looking decent. He's got Ricky Pearsall, who value takes a little bit of a hit with Juwan Jennings back at practice. Jalen Warren was announced as starter today, but you never know with the depth chart, so good for him. Travis Kelce is just, he's washed. I don't know what he's doing, wasting a spot on him. Godwin, not even in his IR, even though he's as questionable, so I guess he can't, but we'll see. Rashid Shaheed, Travis Etienne, Cam Ward. So I think this is an Omar team. He'll score 110, 120 every week. So week in the playoffs, he'll score 180 against me when we play. Take my $100. And it's going to be like that. He hasn't won a championship since the inaugural season, as I like to point out every year. And I don't think that changes this year. Feel free to bookmark that, Omar. But yeah, coming in at 8th, my boy out in Cali, Omzi. Coming in at 7, someone who has historically known ball, had a little bit of an off year last year. Stern. We got Stern. And I think his team is just very fine. That's what I'll say. I'm looking at it again. I think it's solid. You know, Jalen should be good. We'll see how Genti does. James Cook should be good. Amon-Ra will be good. DJ Moore, we'll see. Hawkinson, fine. DeAndre Swift, fine. George Pickens, like, decent. So, like, all across the board, just, like, sure. You know what I mean? He's double dipping on the Bears, which I think is interesting because it's the Bears. He's got Bill, who is apparently the 4th string running back. So, you know, fantasy hype train. Got a little carried away with that. Pittman, I'm sure Omar will be in his DMs for Pittman. And Josh Downs. So we're just doubling up on all these skill players on the same teams. And Eckler along with Bill. So we're just doubling up again. Kyler, I think, stinks. Algier, sure. You don't have Bijan, fine. And then Jake Ferguson, also fine. So Stern, last year obviously wasn't your year. You have historically been the best drafter, I think. CMC getting hurt obviously was a big bummer to you. You hit on Nico last year. And then years before that, like, you normally hit on draft picks. I'm sure you're going to be in the playoff picture at the end of the year, barring any injuries to everyone on your team, like what happened last year. But we'll see. All in all, I think fine. Like, you know what? We'll see. It's a Stern roster, and I think it'll end up being better than what I think. At 6, we have the fella that, you know, people have started calling him a Jack Caruso merchant because the only reason he's good is because he rips off Jack and all of his trades. We have Corn Dog, Connor Noto. I'm not high on Mahomes from a fantasy perspective. I understand he's the best quarterback in the league and he wins a bunch, but his numbers were not great last year. Bijan, who ended up on my team at the end of the year last year, obviously fantastic. Bucky's great. A.J. Brown's great. Garrett Wilson, we'll see, right? You never know with that guy. Evan Ingram, we'll see with that one too. Trevion Henderson, I thought that was a great pick. I would have liked for him to fall into me, but you can't get everyone, Noto, so I will be in your DMs for him for sure. Jacoby Myers, we'll see, right? I mean, he just requested a trade, but he's still, I guess, their wide receiver 1. I don't really know if they're going to do what they're going to do with him. Rashee Rice, obviously suspended through 6 games. Noto's got to come out with some wins. And it is funny because in Noto's first season, he did this exact same strategy where he drafted DeAndre Hopkins, who was suspended for 7 games. Then he started 0-7 and the season was over. So we'll see. I think he forgets that he historically has been horrible unless he trades with Jack. And that's just my opinion. And also a fact. It's both my opinion and a fact. Khalil Shakir, good pick. J.K. Dobbins, technically the RB1. I thought that was a good pick too. Herbert, we'll see. I mean, I don't think he's a great fantasy QB. He hasn't historically been. Leggett, sure. Rashad White, sure. And then you got Kyle Pitts. Like, I don't even need to add any commentary towards Kyle Pitts. But Noto, yes, coming off a heartbreaking championship loss last year to yours truly. Thinks that the Mahomes Rashee Rice stack will save him. We'll see. We'll see. I do like the Bucky pick. I do like the Trevion Henderson pick. I think your running back room is solid, but I have you at 6 in the power ranking, almost top half of the league. We'll see what happens, Corn Dog. At 5, the highest I've probably ranked this guy, because he's always mad about where I'm ranking him. Doesn't matter where it is. He's got something to complain about. My dear friend Sky. up in New York. And I think this is the highest I've rated him. I think his team is better than previous years based off the draft. I will say his running back room is a little shaky, but that's what happens when you go wide receiver, tight end, QB, and then you're starting running backs, Alvin Kamara. RJ Harvey, we'll see, right? Broncos backfield, tough to trust. Tyrone Tracy, the Giants as a whole, could be tough to trust. Jerome Ford, we'll see. So not super high on his running backs. I also don't love that he's double dipping with Cleveland. He's got Jerome Ford and Jerry Jeudy in the starting lineup. That's probably not a good idea. And the more I'm talking about this guy's team, the more I feel like 5 was too high for him. But you know what? We're gonna give it to him because he's been complaining a lot and he deserves a higher rating. CD, obviously, I think is going to be great. BTJ is going to be great. Jaden will regress a little bit, but you know what? It is what it is. Ridley, we'll see. Judy, we'll see. So we got a lot of we'll see. He's got a lot of question marks on here. But I'm thinking this could be the year. You know, Sky cracks the playoffs, maybe wins a playoff game, and that's probably about where that stops. But we like it. We love the tenacity. We love the enthusiasm from our friend Sky. Top 4, baby. Let's lock it in. At 4, definitely the highest I've slotted him. We got our boy Jack Carr 05. I like Jack's team this year. I'm messing with it. I think he's got a good energy to it. We'll see if T. Higgins can stay healthy. That's always the biggest question mark with T. Higgins, if he can be on the field, because he's great when he is. He's got the Burrow T. Higgins stack. I like that. He's got Saquon, who I don't think will repeat what he did last year on my squad, obviously, but I mean, he's Saquon, number 1 player in the NFL, as voted by his peers. If you're a Giants fan, that's got to be worst case scenario. Embarrasses you on Hard Knocks, goes to your rival, almost breaks the rushing record. Super Bowl, Offensive Player of the Year, was he? Who's to say? I can't remember. Number 1 player in the NFL. Gotta be tough if you're a Giants fan, for sure. Brock Bowers, great pick. Jalen Waddle, we'll see. As I said, I'm not high on the Dolphins, but the golden pick, very disrespectful to Sean, but could be good. Obviously, I like the Diggs pick as a huge Patriots fan. Bench is just fine. Olave, we'll see, right? Saints offense, I'm not too high on. Cooper Kupp's probably pretty washed. Javonte, hilarious that you offered Javonte and Golden for Malik Neighbors. Just a hilarious trade. Hollywood, I'm messing with it. I like it. Projected for 12 points. Wan'Dale Robinson, that's a PPR GOAT right there. You know ball. But yeah, I'm pretty high on Jack's team this year. He will have to change his name, I think. I say it every year because he never drafts Ingram, but I really do think he should change his name, but I think it'll be a good season out of our boy Jack this year. Coming in top 3, Sammy. Nicest guy in the world. Sammy deserves a top 3 ranking. I like his team. I think his tight end room, not great. For sure, Dalton Kincaid, that could use some work. But, I mean, Lamar, Gibbs, Hampton, Nico Collins, that's a super solid first 4. Kenneth Walker, the 3 games he's healthy will be really good. Devontae fell, I think, pretty late in the draft. He's always solid. Yeah, I got him in the 7th round. That's pretty good value. Yeah, I mean, Omari Hampton, I have him in another league. I think huge question mark. You have no idea what we can get out of him, but I like it. I'm a fan of Sammy's team. Obviously, Nico Collins is awesome. I tried to get Stern to trade him to me all of last year, and he wouldn't. Lamar's Lamar. Odunze, I think, is a great player to have on the bench. Addison suspended, fine. Jordan Mason, I think that was a good pick by him. Keon Coleman is fine. Trey Benson, Jadon Blue, and then got Ayuk in his IR slot. So I think Sammy had a good draft. I think this is a solid team. It's a team that's going to compete. It's a team that's going to give it their all. And I'm happy for the kid. I'm happy for Sammy. He deserves to have a good season. He's always in here trucking along, and I think DK blows, but outside of that, I really like his team. At 2nd, we have the impeached commissioner, the birthday boy, Alex Charlanzio. And I do like his team name. I appreciate that he always gives a new team name every year. And for that, I really do appreciate that he does that. Brings a smile to my face. CMC following him at 10, I thought was pretty crazy. He is, the most boomer bust fantasy player of all time. If he plays, he's going to win everything. And if he doesn't, you're pretty boned. That's kind of how it goes. But Char was smart enough to draft his handcuff with Brian Robinson Jr. That's just a good move right there. Josh Allen, obviously, he was a Josh Allen merchant last year until he traded him to me. Aaron Jones, we'll see about that. Puka, missed a lot of time last year, obviously. We're a little concerned about Stafford's health, but I like it. JSN, I'm not as high on as other folks, but I get it. Mark Andrews is good. Xavier Worthy, again, I get it. Egbuka, I like the Egbuka pick. I'll say it. I'm a big fan of that. And he's got Tet on his bench. Caleb Johnson, Keenan Allen, Ramondre sucks, but that's fine. Hunter Henry, Char had him last year too. Hunter Henry, that GOAT. And then Brock Purdy is his backup. I think he's got a good team. I know Char hasn't made it to the championship the last 2 years, but that's because he plays me in the semis, and it's like 150 to 160. And I feel like that matchup is normally the matchup besides the championship. So Char's he's right there. He's right there in the thick things. I don't anticipate this year being any different. I anticipate he'll make some smart trades like he normally does, and he'll be playing the waiver wire like he normally does. He's a great player, and I think he had a good draft, especially draft from the 10th spot. That's always a tough spot to draft from. So I think he came away with a really good team, and I'm a fan. If you're sticking around, I already said it, gave myself a 1. I'll try not to blab too much about it, but I do feel like my team is the most solid all around. Justin Jefferson, Chase Brown, JT, Mike Evans, Zay Flowers, Montgomery. I got Juwan Jennings, I'll flip between him and Montgomery. Sharps will be great when Kenneth Walker's out. Got Drake May, my GOAT, as my backup. And then got some flyers. Loveland, Braylon Allen, Tillman, Luther Burden. Baker's my QB. He was real good last year. So I'm pumped about it. Won't dwell on it too much. But I just don't let me get a three-peat, because then I'll have more rings than the rest of the league combined. And that's good for no one, especially Omar. But if you did stay for the whole video, I appreciate you. I will have my week 1 predictions out later this week. Thank you for watching, and let's have a good season.